So Dearica Hamby is on her revenge tour against the Las Vegas Aces, and the Sparks, who might be the worst team in the WNBA, are 2-1 against the Aces, who might be the best team in the WNBA. And heck, even the game where the Aces won was a lot closer than it should have been. Before we get on to, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to hit 17.5k by the end of the day. But anyway, let's talk about this right here. So why does Dearica Hamby, why is it personal for her against the Aces? If you don't know, basically, a couple of years ago, she was an all-star. They won the championship with the Aces, and she was 6th player of the year twice in a row. So you can see from here, that summer, Hamby told Becky Hammond she was pregnant. That's when everything changed. Said in an interview last week, Washington Post, and in a federal discrimination complaint she recently filed. So it says here that where is it? I need to find where it says here, but supposedly Becky Hammond basically just said, "We've given you a contract." According to Hammond, told her she wasn't holding up her end of the bargain after signing a contract, and we didn't expect you to get pregnant. And then they immediately traded her. Like, that team was almost unstoppable. Again, with her on that team, with A'ja Wilson, they were going to be near unstoppable. With Kelsey Plum, with Jackie Young, heck, they got Candace Parker next year. They were going to be, or was Candace Parker in the trade? I was about to say, I assume Candace Parker was in the trade. But at the end of the day, she obviously, I'm pretty sure the Aces lost a draft pick from it. Becky Hammond was suspended. So it was definitely on the Aces. It was most definitely on the Aces for that. So obviously she was not part of the, I don't know why I thought that Candace Parker's part of the trade. She just signed with the Aces. Either way, if you guys don't know, Hamby is an all-star. She's probably going to start for team WNBA. She's made the 3-on-3 USA team. And if you guys saw last night, 98-93, overtime game, where Hamby, yeah, she was 9 of 20 from the field, 10 of 15 from 3, 28 points. She had 28 points coming up against A'ja Wilson and the Aces. 28 points. Yeah, sure. A'ja Wilson had 35. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's all about the team things. And oh yeah, let's talk about best point guard in the WNBA right now with 3 points, 6 assists, and minus 17 on the floor. Yeah, not a great look. But the Sparks had been doing surprisingly well. Like, Talbot stepped in, and actually, she's playing well, averaging 4 points a game for the season. She's actually stepped in, started a couple of games, and you see the minutes. She's had 17 and 13 in her last 2 games, 11 2 games before that against the Liberty. So she's come in and played well. And it's a team, obviously, like Ari McDonald is very good as well, that they're missing Cameron Brink, who's obviously out for the season. And the last time they beat the Aces, an awful lot of it was based on, well, awful lot of it was because of the rim protection of Cameron Brink, that A'ja Wilson has really struggled with Cameron Brink's length. Anytime that the Aces have played the Sparks. Like, Cameron Brink, I think, was averaging 5 blocks a game against them. But this time they didn't even have Cameron Brink and they beat them. But it all has been from Hamby. Like, you can see her points, she was averaging like 21 and 13 at one stage. Her points per game are dropping down, and look, it is what it is. It can happen. You can see her points, like 9 points against the Liberty, but then she's 29 against the Mercury, 16 against the Mystics, so she's picking it back up again. But again, like, she is, as much as she's balling out against a lot of teams, against the Aces, it's personal. For her, it is 1,000,000% personal against the Las Vegas Aces. And, I mean, personal for a reason. Like, you can even see right here after the game. My teammates show up for me every time we play the Aces. They know how much this game means to me. We have to do that for every game, though. So, obviously, yeah, they care more about the Aces, but there's a reason. I'm glad she at least said it out loud. It's exactly what they deserve. Can they show it like this, like other teams? That's to be fair. Who's to blame for the Aces? The players, the coach, the GM. They all cut her out of their lives. I'm pretty sure it has been blamed on. I don't think the players dislike her. I think it has been blamed on one of, like, well, probably the GM, but also on Becky Hammon. Also on Becky Hammon, because like with the way their CBA is, players are able to go out on maternity leave, and they obviously were not very happy. But it's coming back to bite the Aces in the ass, like, because if you have Hamby on this Aces team, no one touches them, by the way. Like, the Aces right now, they are in a good bit of form, but they started off the year poorly. And even in the games where they're winning, they haven't looked spectacular. They haven't been looking spectacular this season. They've been winning a lot of games. They've been winning ugly. Kelsey Plum at times has been great, at times been terrible. Aja Wilson has been, obviously, again, she's the MVP right now. But if they had if you were able to add Hamby, if you were able to add Hamby to that team, imagine their 1 weak spot. Look, again, Chelsea Gray is not having a good year. She's not been good since she came back from injury. She's come back. She's been back enough from injury where you can just say, no, she just hasn't had a good year. But imagine Chelsea Gray is your worst starter with Kelsey Plum, with Jackie Young, and then you've got Aja Wilson and Dearica Hamby. That would be an unbeatable WNBA team. And then even on the bench, the likes of Megan Gustafson, the likes of Kate Martin are at least going to come in and hold their own. They're going to hold their own. Stokes can come off the bench. You've got yourself Tiffany Hayes. You've got a good enough bench. Like, genuinely, you've got a good enough bench with the best starting five the WNBA had probably ever seen. Outside of maybe, I don't know, a couple of those teams in like the very, very start of WNBA. That was the Houston Comets that won 4 in a row. But yeah. Good to see, though. Good to see somebody going and getting their revenge, because something similar happened again with the Seattle Storm and Skylar Diggins-Smith. They wouldn't even let her work out, and they wouldn't even let her enter the team's facilities when she got pregnant. And look, that's a team that they went and got revenge against. Her Storm team got revenge against the Mercury earlier on in the year. And now you're seeing Hamby, who's on a terrible Los Angeles Sparks team. She's went and got her revenge by winning 2 of 3 against the Aces. Like, look, they're a bad team. They're not a very good team, especially without Cameron Brink. There's a good chance they get Paige Beckers this year. And, like, I'm just saying, if you can keep Hamby, you keep McDonald, Giroux's fine off the bench. You've got Cameron Brink back. Rakia Jackson's only going to get better. And the Sparks could be dangerous. And they're in the need. They're a team in need of a Paige Beckers. Like, they're one or two pieces off being really good. A lot of these teams at the bottom have potential to be good. Like, if you look at the Sky, you are 1 guard off being really good. You're a true point guard off being really good. If you're looking at the Mystics, you're some injuries away from being really good. Same with the Dallas Wings. If you're looking at as well the Dream are a little bit of health away from being good. The Fever are a retool away from being good, but they've got their 1-2 punch sorted. Ironically enough, it's the likes of the Mercury that are probably long-term going to be in a not great spot. And even like the Sun, with how old DeWanna Bonner is, Alyssa Smith is not getting any younger. So all the teams at the bottom, there's no team that are absolutely hopeless as far as their players and their future is concerned. And if you can add a Paige Beckers to this team, if they manage to get the number 1 pick, which as of right now they're the favourites to do, they're going to be real good. But also shout out to Hamby for getting her revenge on the Aces.